Hello. Hi everybody. Welcome to Deep Talk. I've decided that for this one we're actually going to use the model. So you guys get to see me. Will you be on screen today? I will be, because I was on screen last night and I was on screen last time, and so we're going to give it a shot. I used to feel a little too silly, but I was like, if I can talk about that with the model on screen, then I can definitely talk about mental health. But hello, yes, we are back. All right, I'm gonna level with everyone right now. I've had a very rough week. It has been an extremely rough week, and today was the worst day of them all. It was a awful, terrible, horrible day today. It stunk. So, if I seem a little fatigued, if I seem a little spacey, that is why. I also did not prepare all of my notes because of how bad today was. So, we're going to have to be going off the rails. However, I have thought about this a lot, so we should be good. I wanted to keep the nice coffee jazz music, and I wanted to keep the nice looping backgrounds. I did want to keep those for the deep talks, because I don't know, they're just kind of nice, right? But we'll do some chit-chatting first. I like chit-chatting with you guys. How have you been? How was your week? Did you get through it all right? Is everything good with you? Are you enjoying life right now? I hope so. I hope you're all enjoying your life a little better than me. But no, please tell me how your day's been. I want to know. I really want to know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm thinking about what we're gonna play tomorrow morning. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm very glad you all suggested I do weekend morning streams. I don't know. There's just something nice about it. There's just something very calming and relaxing about it. Let's see. Honestly, I feel like this week went by so fast. I wish I could say the same. Can I trauma dump? Can I trauma dump just a little bit? On Monday, our big boss, not my direct boss, but my big boss, came up and he said he had an important meeting that we all had to be there for. And basically his speech was, I understand you're all working really hard. I understand you're all working very hard. I understand you are working a lot more than what your job description says. I know you are severely understaffed, and we have been adding more to your guys' workload. But I'm gonna be honest, I think we could be using our time a little better. I've seen you guys looking at your phones. I've seen you guys standing around for a few minutes. How dare you? Hello, Shiro. Welcome in. And that's what he told us, is that we need to be using our time more wisely. He literally said, I feel like you guys could get a lot more work done if you guys stopped looking at your phones. It's like, oh my word. Absolute insanity. Absolute craziness. Hello, Abyss. Welcome to your first deep talk. It's gonna be a lot like Angel Talk, but it's gonna be about instead of fun animals and stuff, and fun angel stuff and stuff. We'll be talking about mental health and how to help you out. Jenny, hello, Jenny. How are you? Let's see. That would have gotten to me. I know. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Come on, dude. No, absolute crazy talk. But how is everyone? We're just chit-chatting right now before we truly get into it. I've missed you guys. I know it's only been one day, but I missed you all. Please tell me, how was your day? How was your week? Did you do anything cool? You have anything you would like to vent about? I would love to know and talk to you about it for a little bit before we get into the mental health. We missed you too, platonically. I missed you all platonically. What did I put in the Discord? I said I'll be home in a few, lovelies. That's right, platonically. I meant that completely platonically. Exactly, platonically, obviously. But yes, also people over on the short form platform on TT, welcome to your first deep talk. I hope you have the attention span. I hope you have the attention span. I used to say lovelies all the time. You know, when I watched the Game Grumps, I said lovelies a lot. But now I don't, because I don't watch Game Grumps, because I'm a big boy. I'm a big boy now, and I started watching Super Mega. I'm a Zoomer. I must consume Zoomer things. But alright, everyone. So, I guess we gotta start by talking about what we are talking about tonight, and that is the topic of... I definitely spelled this wrong. Self-honesty. So, what is self-honesty? Oh my gosh, is that your voice? No, someone else is talking, don't worry. Kazuki, hello, welcome in. Oh yeah, since there's a lot of new people here, this is what a deep talk is. So basically, I'm gonna yap at you all for, like, I don't know, 20-ish minutes for like every section, and I would like to know your thoughts. If you would all like to bring it in, if you would all like to ask me questions at the end of my yap sesh, if you have anything you would like me to clarify, absolutely. But tonight we're talking about self-honesty. This is a mental health stream, so please be respectful, please be all right. Let's see. Here we'll read some comments. We'll read chat a little bit before we head out into our sea of self-improvement. Someone has the death note. All of my favorite actors are gone. Oh yes, yes. I was very sad. Dolly Parton died. I was very sad. Tim Curry died. I was very sad. Peter Cullen. I wrote a little thing for Peter Cullen because Peter Cullen has actually like affected my life quite a bit. I love Peter Cullen. His words and his inspirational words have really did have an impact on me, and so that one got to me. That one I felt like I had to say something. I love Optimus Prime. I have a little actually, you know, we'll put Optimus Prime right on my desk for now. For now, I'm gonna put Optimus Prime on my desk. That way, we can remember him. There we go. All right, hello, Esther. But all right, everyone, buckle up. I'm gonna get into a topic, and then I'll ask y'all what you think, and then we'll move on to the next topic. So, what is self-honesty? Self-honesty is actually it is the very first step, and I wanna stress this quite a bit. This is the very first step in kind of a all and around mental health improvement. Self-honesty is one of the toughest things to start off with because it requires a lot of maturity. It requires a lot of observation. It takes time, takes effort, and it kind of takes some skill. And I want to stress this. This is the first step. Just because you have learned self-honesty doesn't mean you're going to be better. In fact, self-honesty can make you feel worse in a lot of cases, because you realize you are you learn the actions that maybe you took in the past, or maybe the way you thought you were is not who you really were. But it is also the first step to self-actualization, which some people think is a bad thing. I think when you treat it as the most important thing in your life, I think that's when it becomes a bad thing. But I think it's a very important tool to use when we are trying our best to be better, to become the best versions of ourselves. That is, self-honesty is, like I said, it's such an important thing, but it's also hard to talk about because it's so easy to get off track and like go into a totally different branch of what we're talking about, because it's the first step. It's the seed we're planting. It's us tending our garden. It's getting our garden in order to plant the seed of success. But I have not answered the question yet. What is self-honesty? It is, hang on, I have it written down here. It is the identification of patterns of internal and external behavior. What does that mean? Essentially, it is the ability to look outside of yourself and record your actions. Record your actions, record your feelings, making yourself making yourself creatable, predictable. Thank you, brain. Predictable to yourself. And the reason why this is so important is it allows us, if you guys remember from my from the self-hatred deep talk, where I talked to you guys about the method of just stop doing the bad thing. This is the first step of doing that. It is identifying what you are feeling, identifying what you are doing, and getting yourself to stop. So that is essentially what it is. And like I said, this is just the first of the topic. This is just the first topic. I don't know if you guys have anything you'd like to ask me, but that is essentially what self-honesty is. I will reiterate, it is the identification of your internal and external behavior. Let's see. Are you a therapist, or Smith? I'm just a guy who thinks he knows what I'm just a guy who thinks he can help other people. Is pretty much what I am. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. So yes, I am not a therapist, but I sure do yap about therapy. But now this is actually where my notes run out. But we will get into it. So I guess we'll start with, why is this important? Why is this important? There we go. Self-honesty is very important because, like I said, I mean, the definition speaks for itself. It is the first step on truly realizing who you really are. It's really about getting into contact with who you are as a person. It's a lot about getting into your own self. And the reason why it's important is because it allows us to uncover the really bad parts about ourselves that maybe we don't even realize that we do. Like, I'm sure we have like a bad habit, we have a bad mood, we have a bad just reaction to things, and when that happens, we just start to like spiral, we make bad decisions, we do bad things. And self-honesty is super important for that, because it allows us to identify what these emotions are, what these habits are coming from, why do we specifically choose these habits, why we do these habits, why can't we stop? And there's so many, there's just so much that is like great, and it's a fantastic tool. It is important because it is a fantastic tool that it's very versatile. It's not just truly about stopping yourself from doing bad actions. I talked about it. It's like clearing a garden. It's like right now, without self-honesty, you kind of have a garden and maybe like some paths through it, here and there. Self-honesty is clearing that garden out. We're yanking up all the weeds. We're taking out all the rocks. We're getting the ground ready. We're getting the ground ready for us to examine it, to understand it, to truly just be, to truly understand it, to understand ourselves, and to know who me is. Who is me? is what we're asking. Who is me? I have all these weeds. I need to clear the garden. And like I said, I want to keep reiterating this. And this is another thing. It helps us recognize the bad things in our lives. It helps us recognize the very bad, very sad, very unpredictable parts of ourselves that's difficult to swallow. It can be very difficult for people to accept themselves. Even I think a lot of people, they get too mixed up in the weeds, they get all tangled up, and they're just all over themselves. They're all in their heads, they're all in their feels, and it's just a mess, and you kind of you don't know what you're doing. But once we start self-honesty, we can start clearing out those weeds. We can start clearing out getting tangled up. We can make our emotions and our weirdness as a person. If you're the kind of person who's just like, I'm just crazy, I don't know what I do, this is one of the most important tools for someone like you. But I think that's all I want to say for this section. What do you all think? I would love to, I'll turn it over to you guys if you guys have something to say, if you guys have anything you would like to add. Hello, Nikov. If you were an angel, why is your halo red? I don't understand this logic. I'm gonna be real, guys. I do not understand the logic of why red halo means evil. I don't get it. It's red because I like it. It's red because I want it to be red. But no, if you guys have been listening in, if you guys want to continue, let's see, is that a custom choice? It's a custom choice, guys. Exactly. I'm just an angel with a red halo. But sorry, didn't mean to get off track. Welcome everyone. This is a mental health talk stream. We're talking about self-honesty. And right now we're in the questions section, or the feedback section, if you guys would like to hop in right now before I head on to the next topic. let's see. I'll just give it a couple minutes. I will go and drink my water because I need to take better care of myself. I need to take better care of myself and my throat because I was yapping a lot. Okay. All right. It looks like we don't have anybody who's got anything they want to add. So let us continue. Let's continue. All right. So, I've laid out why it's important. Now let's talk about what do we do? How do we do self-honesty? And like I said, self-honesty, it is not the easiest thing to achieve. It can be a pretty nasty a nasty process. Pulling out weeds can be nasty sometimes, shockingly. But the main issue, the main thing about it is the ability to look outside of yourself. It is the ability. You kind of need two major abilities. You need the ability to analyze yourself, to watch your own behavior and come to predictable outcomes. Sorry, I forgot to type this in before. Use self-honesty. There we go. How do we use self-honesty? And like I said, it's like the mixture of two skills. You need to the first thing is identification. The first thing you need to do is say, this is a technique I've learned that really helps me out, and when I'm practicing self-honesty, the first thing that always helps me is you need to just get it all out first. Because sometimes when we're hurt, when things aren't going our way, when someone wrongs us, when something bad happens, it can be kind of raw. It can be such a raw wound that even self-analyzing isn't gonna help. In fact, it could just make you worse. And so I always recommend getting it all out first, just letting yourself get through it, however that looks like. If that involves, you doing an activity you like, maybe you do some kind of self-soothe, or just anything to calm you down. Talking about it or talking to yourself about it, talking to myself about it really helps, because it makes me feel usually actually this is a good example. So recently I've been working on trying to not feel so numb about things, like trying to unnumb my feelings. And what ends up and what I've discovered is I am very angry. Shockingly, like I had no emotions for like the longest time. It was very difficult for me to express myself emotionally, and now that I'm kind of actually trying to get my emotions more out there, I'm learning I'm a very, very angry person, and I need to work on that. But one of the things that helps me is I just get myself so riled up that I feel dumb. I feel really like stupid. And shockingly, that helps me because it makes me realize that I'm angry over nothing. I'm being silly right now. I get very silly. I get all these very silly and dumb angry ideas, and so I just end up I end up making myself feel silly, and that is honestly what ends up helping me kind of make that wound, making that bad feeling not so like not hurt so much to like poke and prod at. And that's the first step. Soothe yourself. Soothe yourself. Don't. A lot of people say self-soothing is I don't know. A lot of people say self-soothing is dumb and bad for you. I disagree. It's in moderation. It's once you're done self-soothing, you gotta learn to take a step back, and then we need to switch over to the next phase, which is the calling out phase. The main thing, this is probably the part that is like the hardest. At least it can be the hardest for me. But it's also the part where it's like you will feel a whole lot of relief when you realize it. And the calling out part of this process is we've self-soothed, we've calmed down, we can look at our feelings now, because it's important to feel your feelings. Make sure you're feeling your feelings. But then we need to take a step back, and we need to say to ourselves, I am angry. I am sad. I am depressed right now. And you need to call that out. And you need, I'm a person, I need to remind myself a lot of times for it. Like, I'm just like, okay, I am angry. I am very angry. Like, I am angry right now. You know? You need to call out the emotion. Just be like, okay, we are feeling anger right now. And then I call this part the detective. The next section, the next step of self-honesty is the detective part of you, where you have to not only say, okay, I'm feeling this. Why? That's one of the toughest things is, I honestly, I said last thing is the toughest. I think this might be the toughest. When you have to say to yourself, okay, why do I feel this way? And now you have to think about it. And usually, from my experience, when someone asks the question of why, it's usually because it's something deeper than you really thought it was. It's probably something that goes like way far back into your past, and you realize that the thing that made you angry before is just you reliving, or you trying to not relive that old feeling you had. You know, when we felt scared, when we felt sad, when we felt vulnerable. A lot of people try to avoid that, and so they build up like coping mechanisms, and that is that is usually where a lot of people end up. Is they're like, okay, why am I angry? And then we're just like, okay, well, this happened. So like, for example, I got in a lot of trouble tonight at work, and I was very angry. I couldn't get over it. And one of the things is I asked myself, okay, why am I angry? You know, I vented. I said, all right, I'm angry. Why am I angry? Like, I am angry because my boss yelled at me, and I'm in a lot of trouble now. Why am I angry about that? And we gotta go through the reasons. We gotta go through the reasons why, even if it's like blatantly obvious. You know, we gotta get through it. And I usually always end up with me saying, like, I get that way because I'm insecure about something. I'm angry because this confirms, in my mind at least, this confirms, like, I really, when people call me like lazy, or they call me like a loser, that can really get to me. And so I have a lot of I have a lot of history with that. And so when I have when I get like a flare up of anger and I get mad about something like that, it is because it's like it is confirming something that I'm very insecure about, you know. And so that's what gets me angry ultimately. So that's kind of the what's the word? The gist of self-honesty. Now there's more to it, and we'll get to it, but I think I've talked long enough for this section. But just to recap, there is the venting phase, the self-soothing phase, there is the calling out phase, and then there is the detective phase, where, and if you do all three of those, you are practicing self-honesty, and it's very nice. But okay, I'm turning it over to chat. All right, chat, what do we think over here? Let's see. Well, sometimes being lazy is my comfort zone. Yes, exactly. I'm a very relaxed, chill person, and a lot of people don't like that about me. Let's see. Makira. Holy deep voice. I am holy, and I have a deep voice. Thank you. Let's see. And also, don't listen to what society says about you. Just free what you are. Yeah, that is true. You need to ignore what other people tell you. But yeah, no, I think you're right. Yo, it's a chill angel guy for real. Thank you, No Sleep. I am a chill angel guy. I like your Reddit. Let's see. I've been trying to do the same thing, honestly. It's been so helpful. Well, good. I'm glad you're letting yourself self-soothe. Let's see. I think one of the best things a person can do for themselves is to admit how they honestly feel. Yes, that is the whole point of self-honesty. Okay. You can just call me May even. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay. Well, thank you, May. Let's see. I find sometimes the reason can even come from a whole different situation. Yes, exactly. That's why I call it detective. Because it is... We have to do a little detective work. We have to look deep inside of ourselves. Like, unresolved feelings. Yes, unresolved feelings can help a lot. Yes. Self-honesty can be done if the person could be trusted. Could you clear up what you mean by that, Nikov? Let's see, maybe I'm reading it wrong. Self-honesty can be done if the person could be trusted. Yeah, I may need some clarification. Are you saying, like, do you, like, trusting yourself? That's actually something I never considered while doing that. Trusting yourself. Do you trust yourself? I guess you would have to. There is a way to do that. There is definitely a way to test whether you can trust yourself. And that is usually that is testing it against reality. Do your beliefs line up with what is really going on? Hi there. Hello, Marley. How are you? Reading different situations. Like, if you get really angry and you feel like you're very justified, and you think about it like, oh wait, the McDonald's guy just didn't give me my extra barbecue sauce packet, and you're like really steamed about that can be an indicator, not fully, but that can be an indicator that you might not have the best emotional regulation, and that's the only time I can really think you would not be able to trust yourself. Let's see. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Kitsune TV. I appreciate the follow. Let's see. I mean, if you want to say something or vent, you need more likely confidence about your emotions and also feelings. Confidence. I see. I think I get what you're saying. You're saying you need to really you need to trust yourself. Trust yourself because you're the only person you can trust. Let's see. Kitsune TV. Hello. I'm here on Twitch supporting people after a long evening of the state fair. Ooh, sounds fun. I have a county fair. Actually, the county fair should be coming up in a little bit. I'm going to attempt to go, even though I hate crowded places. I'm going to attempt to go this year. Maybe it'll work, but I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of tasty food as well. I'm always there for the food. I don't like rides, and I don't like getting scammed by carnies. But I love the food. Good morning, kitty cat. It is midnight for me. It is 1 a.m. for me. You should join the council. Well, the Nugget Knight. I don't know how. Maybe I will. We'll see. Maybe I will join your council. Meow. Hello, Kitty Carn. Hi. All right. You just gotta put on a red robe. Well, I don't have a red robe, unfortunately. But okay. I think we're ready to move on to the next section. So, just to recap. For all the people who are just joining me, I'm gonna be like yapping for like 10 to 20 minutes, and then I will read your chats. so don't worry, I'm not ignoring you. Okay, so to recap, we went over what self-honesty is, why it's important, how we do it, and how we use it. Now let's talk about let's get real for a second. We're gonna talk about this is not a pleasant process. Let's be honest about self-honesty. I'm gonna be real. If you feel fluffy clouds and you're happy about what you're doing, about how you feel, there's a good chance you're probably doing not as much as you should with self-honesty. Because at least for someone like me, when I am practicing self-honesty, I end up realizing I did something bad. I did something really like dumb and crappy, and I feel really bad about it. But I've had moments where like I learn something about myself. I'm like, oh, like I do, and I learn something, and I've spiraled from it. I'm like, oh my gosh. However, the thing about that is when I learn something about myself, when I'm clearing my garden and I find a patch of dirt that I don't particularly like, I learn to I've learned to take bad situations and try and grow from them. I always try to get things on a positive note. I don't like leaving things unresolved or I don't know. I feel very unsatisfied when something goes wrong and I'm like, ugh, I need to figure out how to spin this into something worth going through the pain for. And sometimes you can't do that, but sometimes you can't. But a lot of times I think you can. But like I said, self-honesty is not necessarily a very pleasant process. Now, if you're a young person, self-honesty, you will just, I think the younger you are, the more you're going to realize you were just being like cringe or like weird. But the older you get, I think you can look back. The more life you've had, the more times you've had to mess up, the more you will be like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? And So I've decided, and so I think it's a very good, it's a good practice to know that yes, this probably won't be pleasant. Yes, I'm probably going to realize I was the baddie. I was the bad guy the whole time. Uh, I think in those particular situations, and just like with the self-hatred video that I did, you gotta accept the fact you can't undo the bad you've done, but you know you can make
Sexy boy, pretty boy.
oh, I need to turn these off. Whoopsies. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry. Let me get back to what I was saying. Sorry, not your fault, Kitsune. Not your fault. I should have turned those off before the stream. But all right. Just like what I was talking about with self-hatred, because self-honesty will uncover a lot of stuff that will make you feel a lot of self-hatred. You know, we're learning about ourselves, and the thing about people is people suck sometimes. So you're gonna probably learn about a lot of the times when you really sucked. And what's important is to realize, yes, you did something bad. There's nothing you can do to fix it. There's nothing you can do to fully make things better. But you just gotta move on. You gotta not beat yourself up about it. You just gotta say to yourself, okay, we are going to make this we gotta turn this into something. You don't have to, but how is there any way I can make this into something positive? Can I build something positive from this? And that is, and can I stop? Have I stopped doing the bad thing? Have I stopped doing the bad thing? Have I stopped doing the thing that has been causing me to hate myself? Yeah, we've gone over this before in the last deep talk, but this is why self-honesty is good, is because it is part of that process. It's a small part of that process of unscrewing up your brain and unscrewing up your life, which, like I said, I want to I want you guys to know that just because like a process is painful and stressful and it can be very upsetting, it doesn't mean, you know, it's all bad. They say pressure makes diamonds, and I try my best. I try my best to be a great, to get as many diamonds as I can from the mines, because boy howdy am I under pressure a lot. But let's see. All right, I think we are good for that section. But yeah, just so you know, you're not going to find a lot of not everything is going to be nice. This isn't going to be an amazing thing that you're like, oh wow, I'm so enlightened, wow, you know. You're not gonna be one of the hippie boomers who did LSD once and now they think they know everything. Like, wow, I'm so enlightened and smart. No. But alright everyone, I'm gonna turn it over to you guys what do you guys think? Do you guys have anything you'd like to say to me? Is there anything you'd like to just like let me know? Let's see. Lulu Sai, hi, welcome in. Let's see. Caught the angel off guard. You did scare me. I was like, oh, hold on. As the Irish once said, if you take info from one place, it becomes rigid and stale. Oh, I didn't know the Irish said that. Oh, the Eeyore, not Irish. Oh, I don't know who those people are. Accepting your flaws and recognizing what we genuinely want. Yes, kitty cat. Yes. However, we're more talking about not what we want necessarily. We're talking about who we are. I guess our wants are part of who we are, but this is more about it's more about affecting the internal self. It's about affecting our own bodies. Want is more external because we want to add something to ourselves, and we're trying to not add things. In fact, we're trying to subtract the mess that is our brains, if that makes sense. But it can also be scary because facing the truth means confronting parts of yourself that we may have tried to ignore. Sometimes the hardest person is to be honest with yourself. Yes, that is very true. That is that I think you hit it right on the head there, kitty cat. That you really, I think you said that really nice. Yes, sometimes facing up to what you've done can be extremely painful. It can be very scary and problematic. Let's see. Protection and power are protection and power are overrated. You are very wise to choose happiness and love. Hello, Miss Aressa. How it doing? We are going good. We are doing a mental health talk tonight, and so I hope you feel like staying. Also, thank you to whoever followed. I had to turn off alerts, so I apologize, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah. Confronting the bad parts of ourselves can be scary because we may realize that we aren't the person we thought we were. That, oh, we thought we were one way. Oh no, we're actually, you know that thing we always say we hate? Oh, we are that thing. Oh no. Let's see, the scariest truth to face is one you already knew but were afraid to admit it to yourself. That is a fantastic point. That is a fantastic point, actually. I don't know. You should do this show, kitty cat. You should definitely do this show. Sorry, I am a little unprepared, just so everyone knows, just so I can update everybody. I'm a little unprepared tonight. My notes aren't as good, so you guys are really killing it for me. Let's see. Oh, hello, Riley the Dino Dog. Welcome in. Let's see. I like this message of self-honesty. Is quite important. My parents still haven't learned this lesson, and there's still some things I have to work on, though. With some help. Help is always good. Finding help is always good. But yes, I guess we'll head to the next topic. Very well. Type. Oh, I see. Okay. No. Hang on. Okay. No, we're good. We're good. Sorry. Use to it. Part of brain never leaves me job. That has been a topic recently. A lot of people have been saying that my brain just won't shut off. typically when your brain just won't shut off, one of the best things you can do is what I always recommend is, and this may sound silly, go outside, lay in the grass, like lay on your back in the grass. It does help. You might be surprised. Let's see. Hello, Blue. Welcome in. I just overthink a lot. Sucks quite a bit. It does suck. I am also a bit of an overthinker. I'm not an overthinker. I really just get really stuck in my head. I go all over the place. Let's see. I have one last one, and it's about humility before I go. Okay, I'm tired. Humility is a fantastic virtue that everyone should strive for. But all right, I think we're ready to head to the last near the last section, where we're getting there. Don't worry. Oh, hang on. Pride is not the opposite of shame, but of course, true humility is the only antidote to shame. I guess, yes, that is actually very true. Shame is to humble yourself. To get out of shame, a good way is to humble yourself and to realize you ain't that important. you ain't that big of a deal. But no, have a good night, Kitsune. I hope you have a lovely night. Thank you for being here. This is very nice to have you. Hope to catch you at an earlier time slot. You won't. It's quite late for me. Actually, on the weekends, I stream earlier in the night. But on weekdays, yeah, unfortunately, this is the only time I can stream during weekdays. Night, Angel Boy. Kisses from all. Thank you. Have a good night, Kitsune. Good night. Okay, everyone. So now we are reaching the point of where we've done enough snooping around in ourselves. We've done enough seeing. Now it's time to act. And the way we act is, it is a two-step process. We have to accept, and then we have to make a choice. And so I refer to this part of the process as the problem solver portion. So I said so this is the next step. So let's recap. We do the venting or self-soothing process. We then do the calling out phase. We then do the detective phase, where we ask ourselves why. And now we have the what was the word I used? the building phase, the action phase, where we take action now. And the actions we have to take are, we have to accept ourselves. We have to say, this is the reality. This is the reality of what is going on internally. And we have to say to ourselves, okay, this is who I am, for better or for worse. We have to learn that I talked about this before, but we have to accept truths about ourselves. There are things that just are facts about us, and maybe we just don't like those things. Maybe those are things we would rather not have in our lives, but we just have to accept the things that are facts about ourselves. Do we have bad parents? Maybe you're one of those people who you do love your parents and you realize, I don't think they're very good parents. That's fine. And one kind of part of that is to just accept the truth of, I don't have good parents. I love them, but my parents kind of suck. And that is, that you say it, and that's pretty tough. If you can do this, I guarantee you will become a much stronger, much more solid person, because you are completely accepting of yourself. You're kind of taking a punch in the face, you know, because learning that something in your life isn't how you think it is can really mess you up, can really send you for a loop. I thought I had a very good childhood growing up. In my example, I thought I had a normal childhood growing up, and when I was in therapy, I was talking to my therapist, and I was telling him about all this stuff, and he looked at me and he said, "Saro, you need to accept, like, you keep saying all this stuff like you had a fine childhood, your childhood was normal, your childhood was good." Like, he literally looked at me, he's like, "Dude, you were like super abused." And it like took me aback, and I remember being like, huh. You know? And I remember I thought about it more and more, and yeah, he was right. And I remember I did cry about that. I remember I started kind of crying when I realized that. And that's what I mean by accepting truths. There are just things about us, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be something like that. You know, maybe you hurt someone, and maybe you like denied it for years, and you said, no, I didn't do this, blah blah blah, and then you finally have to just face it and be like, yeah, I did hurt that person. And that can be that can just be soul shattering for some people. And that is why the accepting part of this is so difficult. It's literally one of the most difficult things I think a person can attempt to do. And I think it is a just super disservice to yourself if you don't do something to help yourself like that, you know? Next, we have the choosing phase. When we are choosing, what do I mean by choosing? What are we doing when we are choosing? What's the choosing? Oh, hang on. Sorry, everyone. Having some issues. Okay, sorry. We're back. What do I mean by choosing? Choosing is when we finally decide, like, all right, we've accepted our feelings, we've accepted who we are, we've accepted the truth about ourselves, we've accepted, you know, we understand our feelings now. Now we have to be productive. Now we have to say, okay, what now? Because a lot of people, they kind of get to this point, and then they just kind of become a lump. They get really into that victim mentality that everyone loves nowadays. We get into this victim mentality, and when you get into that victim mentality, you just can't do anything. All you do is you sit around and you feel bad. That's all it is. You are paralyzed by your own sadness. And so what we end up doing, and you make a lot of excuses for yourself, and that can also lead to self-hatred, yada yada yada, or hatred for others. And the choosing part is we need to say, what am I gonna do now? I have this information. What am I gonna do now? Because we cannot be what's the word? We can't be knowledge gatherers. Knowledge gatherers are the most insufferable people in the world. All they do is gather knowledge, and they think about how big and smart their brains are, and then they do nothing with it. If you have knowledge about something, use it. Sorry, that came off a little harsh, but I do mean it. We have this new information about ourselves. We have this new paradigm. Paradigm means your mindset, or the state your mind is in right now. And so what we need to do is we have our paradigm shift. Where do we move forward from this? Let's take my anger issues, for example. Like, what do I need to do now? I need to stop getting so angry. And actually, the advice of humility is actually a fantastic one. Like what Kitty Corn brought up. Humility is so important because you have the ability to a lot of times when anger shows up, or like something like that shows up, it is usually because you think someone has offended you, right? And when you think someone has offended you, that means you think you are important. If that makes sense, right? It means internally you think you're someone who is worthy of, getting back at someone else, But yeah, it's choosing. It is about, what am I gonna do now? What do I want to do with this? Do I want to just leave it where it is? Am I fine with just accepting this, or am I going to try and improve this part of myself? Am I gonna, I don't know, if I don't need this part of myself, we leave it behind. That was me in the past. I don't need it anymore. We're moving on, So that is the taking action phase. That is the action phase of doing this kind of stuff. But all right, I'll turn it over to you guys, and I think we're reaching the end. Yes, we are reaching the end. I'll do like a sum up, and then we will end for the night. Yeah. How are you guys feeling? If you have anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to say to me, if you have an example you'd like to give me, absolutely would love to read it. Let's see. Riley. I'm in that boat. Not great, but not much. I can do... Not much I can... Sorry, I need to read that better. I'm in that boat. Not great, but not much I can do unless I can move out. I see. That can be very difficult, especially in this day and age, if you're American. I'm quite lucky to have parents to help me out. Of course, God did also help, yes. But finding another human to talk to and relate to is good for you. Yes, you're very right. You're very right. Finding another person is great. However, we live in tough times right now, Riley. We have, like I said, this is about self-honesty, right? We're talking, and we were just talking about accepting things. And sometimes accepting things is you're in a situation you don't like and you have no one to talk to. You can't let that get you down. You can't let that make you say, there's nothing I can do, or it's really difficult for me to do things. I need this, I need that. You don't need anything. You just need to accept your circumstances and do your best to make them better. You know, I like I said, I wish I could help you. I, of course, am always here. If anyone ever truly needs me, anyone really wants to like talk to me, I highly recommend joining like the Discord community. That's the best way to usually get a hold of me. But yeah, if you guys, like I said, it's the internet. It's the internet, so don't trust anyone on the internet. But if you guys ever do need like a little time, or you need help or anything, my door is always open. I have a big heart and I want to help people genuinely. Let's see. When it comes to a childhood like that, whether we can grow or wither depends on you as a person. It does depend on the person, but I believe given the right tools, most people will start to do good things. For some people, it turns them into better persons that want to do better, be better. But yeah, that is true. That is true. Some people can't handle stuff like that, you know. Hello, Jane. Welcome in. There are also those that don't want to try and be better. Some adapt their parents' behavior. That is true. Some people do just adopt their parents' behavior. They just fall into the same thing as their parents did. I always find that very sad. And act accordingly, not because they don't realize, just because they don't want to. Yes, there are people who don't want to change, and if those are people who don't, if they're the thing about those kinds of people is all you have to do is kind of just, you know, with a person who's like, yeah, I know I'm messed up, but I don't want to do anything. There's nothing you can do. You can't force someone to do something, you know. You can't force someone to change. You can't force someone to do something you don't want. Actually, my favorite band in the world, Blue October, has the perfect quote for this. Don't bother changing things that won't give in to changing. If you think someone's down a bad path, if you think someone isn't doing the right things, and they know they're not doing the right things and they don't care, I would just be like, well, I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy. I hope this brings you happiness. I hope this is what you want. Let's see. Healing begins when we stop blaming ourselves and start understanding where it came from. Yes. Sometimes you do have to blame yourself. Sometimes you have to, like I said, like self-truth. Sometimes we were the bad guy. Sometimes, and it's not the only problem I have with what you're saying, Kitty Cat, is I don't like to rule. I really don't like the idea of not blaming yourself, because sometimes we have to admit, like, okay, we did bad. I think a better way to say what you're saying is stop beating yourself up about it. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop making yourself suffer. And just, get to the root of the problem and then fix it as best as you can, of course. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Sometimes people are honest with themselves and they don't want to do anything about it. Yes, that is true, Star. And like I said, with people like that, just say to them, like, I hope you're happy. I hope you are doing fine. I hope you are doing well. You know, that's from the Blue October song, I Hope You're Happy. That's another Blue October reference. Wow. Okay. I hope you're happy. I hope you're good. I hope you get what you wish. I hope you get what you wish for, and you're well understood. But all right. I think we are going to get to the final part of this, and that is, what do we not do? What do we not do? Oh wait, hang on, wait, before we get to the next section. Okay, miscommunication there. What I meant was a childhood that with bad parents can cause a person. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yes. For me, like I said, like, I'm someone who I had to accept the fact that, like, I was abused as a child in, like, a lot of ways, and that was very difficult for me, and I desperately am trying to not be like that. You know, but yeah, some people, they do get stuck in being a bad person and just kind of allowing their in the orthodoxy we call it passions, getting swept up in their passions and making themselves feel numb or good, which I have similar problems, but you know, I've been making a lot of improvement, actually. To grow up with other problems we don't realize were bad until we realize it's not the norm. Yes, I understand that is not the norm. For me, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's something that happened to me, and I don't find myself particularly remarkable. Is why I guess I figured it was a common thing. But okay. Congrats on improving yourself. Thank you. Well, I mean, it's improving myself. Improving. Well, we'll see. Time can only tell with something like that. But okay. All right. What don't we do? So we've gone over what we should do, but there are pitfalls. And we've gone over them already. And the main issue I think a lot of people get to is, don't go into this looking for victimhood, because that is probably the most unproductive thing you can do with something like this. Is if you start searching within yourself, you know, you're clearing out your garden and you are looking for victimhood, if you are looking for someone to feel bad about you, feel bad for you, don't ever do that. One of the hard truths I had to learn recently is, so someone once, I saw I saw a video, and the title really hit me. That it was one of those video titles where I was just like, yes, this is correct. I want to know more about this. And the title was, "No one cares how stoic you are." And I love stoicism. And I thought about that, and I was like, yes. If you are a real stoic, you shouldn't care if people see how stoic you are. And basically what that means is, the pain you have been through, whether self-inflicted or life just dealt you a crummy deal, it is not other people's obligation to praise you or to feel bad for you. And if you go looking for that, that can mess you up. It's also, we talked about this in the self-hatred section as well, is that is a very good path to hating yourself, which leads you down to being a bad person. Kind of that path of, I deserve that people feel bad for me. People should feel bad for me. Why don't they feel bad for me? And it's like, it's not people's job to feel bad for you. They can feel compassion. They can be like, wow, that seems like a really rough thing. But in a way, it's also like manipulation too, right? It's like being a vulnerable manipulator. And that is one of the big pitfalls. I would say that is one of the many big pitfalls, is looking for victimhood, looking for I am actually in more pain. The other thing is, don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. And this goes both ways. Don't lie to yourself to convince yourself something happened that didn't happen, and don't lie to yourself to tell yourself something didn't happen when it did. I don't know if I said the same thing twice, but I think you get the picture. It's important. It's self-honesty. Don't tell yourself this happened or this didn't happen when you know darn well it didn't. That's the tough part. That's the rough part of it, is like me. There's a part of my past that it is very painful. It's very, I almost think it's a dream, but unfortunately I have to just accept that it happened. I won't go into it, it's pretty messed up, but you have to accept the reality of this happened. And when we do, for me, it's hard to I struggled with it a lot, and I eventually came to the decision of, it was in the past. I don't hate anyone because of it. If I forgive the people who were involved in it. I have no ill will or anger in my heart, but it did happen. It is a part of me. I can't let it, I can't lie to myself about it. And like I said before, we can't let it drag ourselves down. We can't let it drag ourselves down. We can't let it hurt us. Well, we can let it hurt us, because sometimes hurting can help us feel, right? And so the main issue is the thing is like, we look for different things. We look for outcomes. Humans are very silly. Everything a person does is because they want to do it. A lot of times, when we are making a decision, we don't do it because, we'll make all these things like, oh, it's the most logical thing. We mostly do the things that we want to do. So it's usually we have a desire and we try and justify that. And for something like this takes a lot of maturity, is to say, I understand this is my desire that I want out of this, but I have to just face reality. And that's kind of like the big thing I want to take away from this is we have to remember what this is called. This is self-honesty. This is self-honesty. We gotta be honest. We gotta keep in the spirit of what we're trying to do here. We are trying to figure out who we really are. We can't make up stories. We can't sugarcoat it. We can't make it, tough on ourselves. We just gotta deal with what we gotta deal with. All right. I think we're good. We're good. Hang on. I saw a lot of stuff from Kitty Corn. There's a lot of stuff here. Let's see. Pain may explain where you came from, but if you let victimhood define where you're going, you can become trapped in the belief that you have no power to change it. Yes, that is very true. W therapy. Thank you. Thank you, Seth, for real. You're a W chator. Let's see. Hi, bro. Hi, J-Red. Let's see. Victimhood can be toxic when pain turns into an identity, leaving no room for accountability. Growth is a growth or responsibility that you might hurt others to. Yes, I highly recommend everyone head over to my Red platform and watch the stream on self-hatred. A lot of people said that was like one of my best deep talk I've ever done. And so I highly recommend that. I go over pretty much everything in that, and it's a very entertaining one. Let's see. Lying to yourself is... Oh, wait, sorry. I've always appreciated how you admit your feelings, like when you say you do have a temper and it makes you feel... And it makes this feel like a safe space. Of course. The thing is I want you guys to know that I genuinely want to help you. And the thing is when I am saying I genuinely want to help you, one thing I am asking of you is being vulnerable, opening your heart up to me. And so it's unfair me to be like, open your heart to me, listen to what I have to say, take in my advice, and I don't give back, I don't give that back to you. I keep everything to myself. Oh, don't hurt me, I'm willing to accept, being made fun of or being cringe. Or being cringe or, talking about things, you probably shouldn't talk about on the internet. But it is because I genuinely want to help you guys, and I genuinely want you guys to I want this to be a good place for everyone. Like I said, this is a good. I genuinely want to help people. I want people to get better. Genuinely. Let's see. Lying to yourself is so complicated because it's like you try to cover up info is true, so it's a battle with yourself on what you want to believe and what you knew happened. Yes, exactly. That's a lot of what I've had to do. Like I said, sometimes, like for me, my big thing is like it always feels like a dream. Hello, Divine, welcome in. It feels like a dream to me. Sorry, there's a character limit on TikTok, so my words may get caught off in the message. That is completely fine. Free will messages. Free will is one of humanity's greatest mental powers, trying to because we can choose to think and act. Exactly. Humans are amazing. We can think about our own thinking. Let's see. Respond, but but it can also be dangerous when we use our freedom to avoid responsibility, blame others, and justify harmful choices. Yes. Yes, we can be very destructive when we want to be. When we want to be very destructive and very I don't know, be very selfish. Selfishness is like such a horrible thing. Let's see. I'm still sick. Oh no. Well, I hope you feel better soon, Divine. And I hope things get, I don't know, get healthy. Get healthy. Let's see. Heart me. Thank you for the heart me. I appreciate that. Thank you, kitty cat. Okay. So, this is the last section. What really is the benefit of what we're doing here? What we're talking about here? What we were talking about here is we are talking about self-actualization. We're talking about we are going to learn who we really are. We are going to learn about ourselves, and that is ultimately what self-honesty does. It pushes us. It puts us on the first step to truly fixing ourselves, to truly finding a recovery for our messed up selves. And what's interesting is that we end up meeting the person we are, and that can be very comforting. It brings you a lot of confidence, because you get to say to yourself, I know who I am. I know how to control myself. And that's the ultimate gift. That is truly the ultimate gift, is control over yourself. Is to be like, I can resist these pains. I can get through this tough time because I know who I am. I know what's coming my way. You know? And being in control, giving yourself time. Like, I had kind of a confrontation today, and while I was walking to that confrontation, I was kind of being like, okay, what's my battle plan here? It's like, I'm probably gonna get mad, so let's not get mad. let's just do our best. Let's just stay calm. That is our main thing. And it worked, and I was the only one in that confrontation who was not shaking with rage by the end. So yeah. But yes, I think that's what I want to say, is we are reaching our true selves. We are meeting ourselves for the first time. It is the real you, for better or for worse. It's like marriage. You are stuck with yourself. You're stuck with this life, for better or for worse, till death do you part. You are with you. And you need to love yourself for you, flaws and all. Also, try and love other people as well, flaws and all. But all right, everyone, I think that wraps it up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to chit chat as well, we can chit chat for a little bit. Let's see. Nya, hello. Why is your voice so deep, but you're so sweet? What are you talking about? I have a rich voice and a sweet look. Thank you. Thank you, Nya. Let's see. Honestly, I did not expect to have a conversation like this at 7:30 p.m. Oh my gosh, it is almost 2 in the morning for me. Let's see. Oh, you might be English. Let's see. Self-honesty and self-reflection can be painful because they force us to face the truth about ourselves. Yes. Ourselves or choices or mistakes that we may rather avoid. Yes. You're so cute. What? Thank you. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Let's see. Matt Pat's worldwide friends. Hello. I accidentally joined, but I don't mind. What wonderful art. Thank you. Thank you. I made it. I didn't make it. I bought it for like $10. Oh wait, sorry. Lying to yourself is such an odd feeling when you're just so into the lie, because when you wake up and remember it's lies, it feels odd and surreal. Yeah, that's always what kind of makes me feel weird about lying. Is I feel like I don't know, I feel like I'm just being a liar. I guess. Let's see. It can be uncomfortable to admit when we were wrong or recognize unhealthy patterns, but facing those truths is necessary for growth, because you cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. That's right. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Had to type. No, that's totally okay. I also get like that. Refusing to acknowledge things is not the best way to deal with this. But like I said, it's it's like marriage. You know, you can't divorce yourself. You can't leave this life and head to the next one. You're stuck. You're stuck with what you got. And so just like I said, and sometimes you're stuck with other people. I think also, Riley, I don't know if you're still here. This kind of popped into my head while I was talking. I understand it can suck to live with your parents, especially when you're older, if you're older. But I want you to know, your parents, it can feel sometimes like they are like they got like a stranglehold on you, or you can't do anything and you don't feel like you're productive or anything. But just know they're doing it because they love you and they want to give you the best shot at life that they can, which is what parents do. I was in a similar situation at one point, and it took me a long time to realize, like, my parents just love me and they just want me to do as best as I can, even if I feel like it sucks. All right. Everyone, it has been a wonderful time talking to you. It has been a wonderful time getting to chit chat with you. For all of you over on TikTok or YouTube or on the other platforms, please like and follow me, especially the people on TikTok. Please go either to my Twitch or my YouTube and follow me there. You get better streams that way. But also, it helps me out a ton. We're trying to get to 400 soon. 400 followers. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate all the support and stuff. It has been very lovely. Nature, hello, welcome in. Let's see, I really do appreciate you talking about this. Thank you. Well, I love talking about it. I love making you guys, I don't know, I know you guys love talking to me about these things. I'm so glad you guys, I got convinced to do these more serious topics on a more regular basis. Thank you so very much. This conversation was very enlightening. Thank you. Well, we do one every 2 weeks. We have deep talks every 2 weeks on my channel, and sometimes we do them week by week, but I think that's a little much. But thank you so much for catching the stream. It means a whole big fat I almost said a curse word. Butt ton to me. It makes me feel like what I'm doing really is worth doing. Definitely haven't been here over an hour. Oh, have you been here? Sorry, you don't show up in the if there's no activity, you don't show up in the view count. This is one of my favorites. Well, thank you everyone. All right, I will see you all tomorrow morning. Let's see, it is 2. I will see you all in 8 hours. We'll be playing some video games. We're gonna play Palworld, and then I found a fun Minecraft mod we're gonna play for a little bit. We'll see how that goes. So I will see you all then. Thank you all so much for watching. Also, later that night as well at 8 p.m. EST, we'll be playing Iwani. So if you are hooked into the story of Iwani Hug That Gator like I am, join me then. Is it horror? No, it's not gonna be horror until I feel like it. I don't like horror. But alright everyone, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Should we raid someone? Hang on, before I go for real. Should I go raid someone? Your Surrey, I guess not. Oh well. Alright everyone, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all later. This has been Seraphim Burning Choir. Have a bright and shining night, everybody. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.